So I'm going to make a video here. It's actually probably end up being in two parts. This is going to be the tool stand or spindle support stand for the K&T mill, the K&T horizontal mill. Now what it will look like is it'll look similar to the tool stand support stand that I made for the Cincinnati mill, except the spindle supports on the Cincinnati mill have this dovetailed way-like thing that fits onto the Cincinnati mill, so it slides over that. On the K&Ts have two posts that come out, and the spindle support slides over those two posts. So to make a tool stand for the K&T, I'm going to use this, I've got this piece of plate steel, it'll be shown in the video. I'm actually taking a clip out of, I posted a teaser probably a month ago or something about some projects that I was going to be building, and part of the details of this project were in that. So what I'll do is I'll bring that back into this video, kind of edit it so it just has to do with this. But what it's going to be, this plate will set vertically, and the heads will set on those two things, and I've got three heads, so there'll be three of them like that. But what this part of the video is going to be making the tubes. When I say making the tubes, turning the tubes down so that they fit inside of the holes for the spindle support. So I'll bring you this piece of plate. It was a drop. And what I'm going to do is build one of those spindle support racks for my K&T heads. And again, what I'm going to do is I had a piece of 2.5-inch thin wall pipe, and it wouldn't quite fit in there, so I just put it on the lathe and turned it down a little bit. As you can see, that's how out of round piping is. But I turned it down a little bit, it fits in there fine. What I'm going to do is weld these up, and then I'll be able to weld them onto the plate, and then I'll be able to set the spindle supports on them. Of course, it's going to be longer than that. That was just a test. But again, they're going to have to sit upside down in this direction. That's the top of the plate, so they'll be sitting like that vertically. The plate will be mounted on stands vertically. And that way the oil won't leak out of the bushing, because as you can tell, this one has oil also. It's supposed to have oil. Actually, it's all probably drained out since the last time I used it. But anyways, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be building that, so I'll bring you back when I start doing that. What I'm doing here is these are the pieces of 2.5-inch pipe that I'm going to use to make the bracket for the K&T spindle heads. What I've done is cut them into approximately 3-inch lengths on the bandsaw. Now, for some reason, the bandsaw blade is the bandsaw isn't cutting straight anymore, so I took a look at it this morning, a quick look at it this morning, to try and figure out how to straighten it back out, and it doesn't look like there's an adjustment on it, so I've got to work on that. But here is the what I'm doing is just straighten the edges out, and then I'll go in and turn them down. They've got to be turned down. First of all, they're out of round, and secondly, they've got to be turned down a little bit to be able to fit in there. So here we go. I'm looking for is a, you can tell when it's straight when you've cleaned off all of the bandsaw cutting marks. Let me bring you back. This is the last one that I've got to straighten the edges out on. You can kind of hear it when it comes up. You'll get a continuous ribbon out of it to begin with, but you won't get that like thumping anymore. Yep. Let me change this one up. Go with a cooler one. Go in to touch off. Got 0, gonna take 40,000.
was I wasn't going to crash into the chuck, but the piece was going to hit the tool post. Going to take another 20. Not really worried about the finish because again it's just a rest, and there again is that pipe being got around. Gonna back it off. Back it off 40 thousandths because there's play in that screw. Ordered a couple of times to like taking string cuts. And I'll turn the machine on, just give it an eyeball to make sure it's kind of square on the chuck. See that black stuff? That's from that coating on the pipe. Want to make sure you get that off the ways. It's almost like have the same effect as like cast iron dust on it. If you mix it with the oil, it would get on the where the ways up. I'll bring it back. You might think this is a little anal, but what I'm doing is I've got 3 of them that are just a little bit longer than the other ones, so I'm just cutting them down a little bit. So they're kind of all the same length. Not that you would ever notice it. I mean, they were only off probably 20, 30 thousandths from the other ones, but and it's not like they're going to be right next to each other. Why I didn't push it in and butt it up against the chuck is so that you still get the dial indicator caliper in there. I'll bring it back. I gotta go get the last one. So here's the last one. This one was a little bit longer than the other ones for some reason. Probably around 60 thousandths longer. Okay, bring it back. Here's what I did is switch the tool out, and I'm just going to chamfer the edges of it a little bit. Just kind of set the tool so that I could do both sides. I'm not going to show you doing all of them. Let me tell you what I did. I tacked it on the inside here. what I did is kind of put this wire, pretty thin gauge wire. Can't even read what it is. I tend to use that as a shim. And just tacked it. Let me see how it works. Let me tack this one and then see how easy it is to get on and off. Try this again. Yeah, it works. I'll bring it back. I'm just going to put tacks on the inside of them and paint the outside. I don't want to run a bead around the outside because that weld bead is going to hold this off of the plate a little bit. I'd like to have it go in and be flush against the plate. Let me stand this thing up in the position that it's probably going to go in. that'll be it right there. And then there'll be two more up here. Gonna probably be a lot of extra plate. Maybe I can weld maybe I can weld some loops on it and put wrenches or other stuff on it. I'm not really sure. Let me think about it. I'll bring it back.